Comedy, 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 comedy. I'm not even mad. I'm humored. Do you know who Louie Gohmert is? Louie Gohmert is a Republican congressman in the first congressional district from Texas. He is one of those obnoxious, cliche, uh, movement conservative based Republicans, the ones that are like really obnoxious from the 1990s, that that mentality. Um, that's Louis Gohmert, the one who's who basically takes Rush Limbaugh talking points and make it sound dumber. The low bar, and he's partisan, and he's got a mean streak, but he's also funny because he's such a damn goofball. I mean, he's stupid. He's a stupid man. He's a former judge, and as I said, he's a stupid man. And I mean, how someone like that could have been a judge is beyond me. I mean, if you want to look at the word "stupid" in a dictionary, there ought to be a picture of Louis Gohmert's face. I mean, I mean, if he didn't seem so much like a country bumpkin, I could hate him as intelligently as I could hate someone like Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. I mean, this guy, Louis Gohmert, makes Ted Cruz look like Elizabeth Warren by comparison. I mean, even Ted Cruz is capable of being more reasonable than this guy. That's how bad Louis Gohmert is. So, with the recent passing away of Congressman John Lewis of Georgia, he decided to go and make a speech, and is one of those, he's sorry about the passing of of John Lewis, and him and Martin Luther King made him a better person. That mentality. If you can't beat them or join them. I have no idea how old Louis Gohmert is, but I'm sure. I'm sure in the 1960s he was at the oldest he was in his 20s, but he was probably a teenager or something like that. Um, Having that said, I'm sure that he was not all about supporting Martin Luther King back then or the civil rights movement back then. I know that type. They didn't back then. They may have kept it kind of quiet, or if they were a little loud about it, they weren't as loud as some other people were. But I certainly could not picture Louis Gohmert in his formative years singing "Kumbaya," doing doing sit-ins to try to desegregate the South. I just can't see him. He might have been a Democrat back then too, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look that up. But then, as he made that insincere praising of John Lewis and Martin Luther King, and I know insincerity when I see it, he ended up talking about the statues, the Confederate flags, the names of buildings being removed and replaced, and all that. And really, he's bothered by that, but he decided to be a partisan butthole and try to be clever. And there's nothing. I mean, it's hilarious. He tries to be clever, and there's nothing remotely clever about this fool, and he is a damn fool. So he goes with his bill in Congress, and he basically called for the Democratic Party to be dismantled and banned, all because they're the party of the Confederacy, they're the party of the KKK. Rah, rah. Like you give a flip. The only reason you are willing to go and denounce the Democratic Party as a party of the KKK, Louie Gohmert, is because back then, if you were a Republican in the 50s and 60s, back then you probably wish they could have voted Republican when they were probably voting Democratic. So there I said it. Um, okay, we're gonna go and play this game. I have my little partisan narratives I have to fulfill myself. So let's play at this game with Louie Gohmert. Okay, he wants the Democratic Party banned or to have the party's name changed or what have you, and to change everything. Well, Mister, I know you wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders in a million years, but kind of that's what Bernie Sanders was trying to do. And I don't think that Bernie Sanders qualify to be a member of the KKK. They seem to have not only do they hate African Americans, I kind of think they don't like Jews either. But anyway, so you wanted Louie Gohmert, you want the Democratic Party to change? So do I. Instead of the Democratic Party, and for God's sake, all you Republicans out there, stop calling it the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party. You got the Democrat Party. It's the Democratic Party. Pronounce it correctly, please. I am for changing the name of the Democratic Party. I propose that the Democratic Party changes its name to the Social Democratic Party. How's that? I am for getting rid of that silly donkey. Sincerely. No, I never liked the donkey. I think the donkey was silly as a symbol. The elephant is silly too, but there's no way, shape, or form I want to ever have anything to do with the Republican Party as opposed to voting for them. And I mean, right now, 2020, I mean, if you see me vote for a Democrat or sing the praises of a Democrat, they are very, very left wing and what a Democrat should be. And I'll give you a mainstream name what a Democrat should be um, from from the past. Everyone from Franklin Roosevelt to Hubert Humphrey, George McGovern. Those are Democratic names I like a lot. Um, Not particularly crazy about the name Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton too much. Not particularly fond of the name Sam Nunn or Joe Lieberman or Dianne Feinstein. Not too fond of those names. So we call it the Social Democratic Party. We get rid of the donkey. We replace the donkey with the rose. Okay? All right? I'm going somewhere with this. Okay. Instead of being diet Republican that the Democratic Party is currently, I would say adopt a platform that's kind of synonymous with an economic platform of the Social Democrats in Sweden, the Labour Party in the UK, or the Socialist Party in France. I was going there. And this entity we're going to call the Social Democratic Party. One of it belonged to an organization called the Socialist International, which is the worldwide federation of democratic socialists, social democratic, and labor parties, and other parties of the center left around the world. I'm okay with that. And I tell you, we have one of those puppies around with people like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio Cortez and people like that. Uh, you know, as the mainstream of the party, and if we must have a right wing of the SDP, I would say, okay, Elizabeth Warren could represent the right wing of the party. And Hillary Clinton and Dianne Feinstein and Joe Lieberman and all and Joe Biden, all of them, they can go and tippy toe into the Republican Party, and at least make them moderate Republicans, because that's what those cats are anyway. So, but the thing about it is that Louie Gohmert is not just stupid; he's vicious and he's stupid and he's petty. And I feel like, I mean, the guy makes George W. Bush seems like Einstein by comparison. He is just dumber than he's dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, he gives new meaning to stupidity. That's Louis Gohmert in a nutshell. Him, like in his little speech, and he thinks he's so clever. I mean, I'm no fan of the former Attorney General Eric Holder under the Obama administration, but it was beautiful years ago, making a fool out of um, Louis Gohmert, because it was just kind of like Louis Gohmert made that little stupid comment. I'm going to go cast some aspersion in my asparagus. What the hell does that mean? People went with it. They thought it was funny as hell. Well, Louis Gohmert, I don't like you, but I think you're funny as hell. And you're hateful, but you're like a little court gesture, angry little court gesture, or you're more like a no, you're just more like a clown. You're just a clown. I mean, people should just go and laugh at you. If you like this commentary, press like. If you don't, you can always press not like or thumbs down. Either way, comment on it. Let me know what you think. Um, Share this video. Subscribe, please. I'm trying to raise the subscription, get more people, to be subscribed, to make this channel relevant. And because we got algorithm problems in social media today that we didn't have several years ago, and we need to solve that puppy. We need to fix that little problem right away. And it's just very easy when you listen. If you're not subscribed to this channel and you happen to see this video and you kind of like what I have to say, you think it's edgy. Well, if you're at least mildly amused by what I have to say, all you have to do is press subscribe, hit that subscribe button. And I hope that we'll have a conversation soon. And I wish you all a great day.